Look ahead a bit, to Abu Dhabi. Obviously, I think you're going to play there next. You've been given a wild card. Also given a wild card was announced was Janice Chen. You're both players sort of leading.
You defamed me on live TV. Tennis phenom Eala drops $50 million legal bomb on The View and Sunny Hostin, and she is just getting started. Welcome back to Court Vision Media, where we go beyond the baseline and into the real battles shaping the sports world. Before we break this down, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe right now so you never miss the biggest stories shaking tennis and entertainment. Picture this. You dedicate your entire childhood to the court. You train under brutal heat. You sacrifice friendships, comfort, and normal teenage life. You grind through qualifiers, fight through injuries, and slowly build a name for yourself brick by brick. Then you break through. You make history for your country. You crack the top 35 in the WTA rankings. You win Grand Slam main draw matches no player from your nation has ever won before. You become a symbol of discipline, sacrifice, and possibility. And then, in less than a minute, a daytime television panel allegedly tries to tear that reputation apart on live national television. That is the situation reportedly unfolding around Eala, and the fallout is escalating fast. According to reports circulating in media and legal circles, Eala's legal team has set its sights on The View, its producers, its network, and one co-host in particular, Sunny Hostin. The alleged figure attached to the potential lawsuit is staggering, $50 million. Yes. $50 million. This is not a quiet complaint. This is not a PR cleanup operation. If the reports are accurate, this is a full-scale legal confrontation centered on defamation. To understand why this moment is so explosive, you have to understand who Eala is and how far she has climbed. Eala is not just another promising athlete. She trained at the prestigious Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, developing into one of the most technically polished young players of her generation. She dominated the junior circuit, won major ITF titles, and transitioned into the professional ranks with remarkable speed. Then came the breakthrough. At the U.S. Open, she became the first Filipina in history to win a Grand Slam main draw match on the WTA Tour. The Philippines erupted with pride. Her achievement was celebrated at the highest levels. She continued her rise, eventually entering the top 35 in the world rankings. On court, she has been disciplined, composed, and controversy-free. Her reputation has been built on results, not noise. That is why the alleged comments on The View have sparked such intense reaction. According to sources, Eala's legal team is not framing the segment as opinion or entertainment banter. They are reportedly arguing that false statements of fact were presented as truth. In defamation law, that distinction matters more than anything. In the United States, public figures face a higher legal standard. They must prove actual malice, meaning the statements were made knowing they were false or with reckless disregard for the truth. That is not easy to establish. But when one of the hosts is a former federal prosecutor, the argument about understanding legal boundaries becomes more complicated. Eala's camp is reportedly leaning into that angle, suggesting that the line between commentary and factual allegation may have been crossed. The demand, according to reports, is at least $50 million in damages. The reaction has been immediate. Eala's supporters across the Philippines and the global tennis community have rallied behind her. Hashtags have trended. Athletes and commentators have spoken about the broader issue of media responsibility. At the same time, defenders of The View argue that talk shows operate within the protection of opinion and free speech. But this situation taps into a much larger conversation. The relationship between media power and public figures is evolving. In the era of viral clips and global amplification, a single televised statement can travel across continents in minutes. Reputational damage is no longer local or temporary. It is global and persistent. Eala's legal team is reportedly arguing that any harm must be assessed in that modern context. And make no mistake, this case would not exist in a vacuum. High-profile defamation battles in recent years have shown that media organizations are not untouchable. Settlements have reached historic figures. Networks have been forced to reassess their editorial risk calculations. If this case proceeds, it could become another defining moment in that shift. Inside the industry, reports suggest intense discussions are underway. Legal teams are evaluating exposure. Public relations strategies are being carefully crafted. Sunny Hostin has not publicly addressed the reports, and the silence has only fueled speculation. There are several possible outcomes. The most likely is a settlement. Most defamation cases never reach trial. A confidential agreement could resolve the matter without public courtroom drama. But if the case goes to trial, discovery could reveal internal communications, production decisions, and editorial processes that networks typically keep private. A dismissal is also possible, but even that would not necessarily end the fight. Appeals exist for a reason. Regardless of how it unfolds legally, one thing is already clear. Eala has stepped into a broader spotlight. Before this controversy, she was a rising star in tennis, widely respected and deeply admired in her home country. Now, she is at the center of a global conversation about reputation, accountability, and the limits of televised commentary. Win or lose in court, she has shown that she is willing to defend her name. On the tennis court, that fearlessness has defined her playing style. Off the court, it may define her legacy. Here at Court Vision Media, we will track every development, the filings, the statements, the reactions from inside the tennis world, and any official updates from the parties involved. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think the view crossed the line? Do you believe Eala has a strong defamation case? Will this end in a massive settlement, or will it head to a courtroom showdown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe athletes deserve accountability when their reputations are on the line, smash that like button and subscribe to Court Vision Media right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next update, because this story is far from over. Court Vision Media, always in session.
Keep on talking about criminals and immigrants being criminals. And I just want people to understand what the facts are and the stats are, is that undocumented immigrants